Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, if you've been denied a business loan, a business line of credit, or a credit card from your existing bank, all right, I'm going to show you a backdoor way on how to actually still get access to funding regardless of your credit. Now, the way to do that is making sure you have a good foundation with your business credit file on this backdoor situation. So that means is you may have to have a few net 30s. Now, Crown Office Supplies with their net 30 account. Now, why Crown Office Supply? Now, please understand with Crown Office Supplies, they only give you up to $2,000 line of credit, right? But here's the key to what they actually do that benefits you. They report to Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. The key components that they have that you want is they report to Experian and Equifax, okay? Because you're going the backdoor route. The reason you want to go the backdoor route is because it positions you for the major banks to get more money. So say that you only have a 580 credit score. Well, the thing about it, because you have an established business credit file that's actually reporting to the business credit bureaus, you're in a better position to get more funding than a person with an 800 credit score but don't have a strong business credit file. I hope that makes sense. Now, here's understanding about Crown Office Supply that you need to know. There's no hard pull on your credit, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing is no personal guarantee. Now, here's something that you do need to understand. In order to get this account, you do have to pay a $99 fee, okay, for them to set the account up. And you have to actually make a purchase. One of the biggest things for most people when they're trying to get access to funding and they use Net 30 is they'll sign up for a Net 30 account, but they won't make the purchase. And because they don't make the purchase, the trade line doesn't show up. Now, the average time for usually for a trade line to show up is between 45 to 60 days. Most people don't even know that. So when they make that purchase, they look on that credit file in 30 days, it hasn't showed up yet. Again, it's because in terms of when you made the purchase and when they actually put it in the system. That's the reason I always tell people when you're trying to get net 30s to report, make sure you give yourself enough time for it to report between 45 to 60 days. Okay, give it enough time. Now, another thing you have to understand about net 30s, most net 30s does not say the company name. It will not say the company name. So you have to also keep that in mind. Now, going back to this Crown Office Supplies, like I said, it's $2,000 limit. But again, because they report to the major business credit bureaus, this is an advantage to you. All right. Now, so that's the first one to get. Now, the second trade line you want to get is Shirtsy. Okay. Now, with Shirtsy, it's pretty much the same way. They give you a $2,000 line of credit, but at the same time, it's going to report to Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax. Okay, like I said, you're building up that business credit file. And for you as an individual, because you would have the right type of trade lines, and most people think you have to have 10, 15, 20 trade lines, right? That's not necessary. Just having the top five right trade lines will help you be able to get access to funding because they're actually reporting to the business credit bureaus. All right, so that's the reason that you want to look at these here net 30s because they report to the business credit bureaus. And remember, in order for the trade line to report, you do have to make a purchase. I'm gonna also show you again some of the places where if you're in the gig economy or you are self-employed, I'm going to show you where to get some funding for your business regardless of your credit as well. The next net 30 you want to have on your credit report, and this is good neon. All right. Now, the reason why you want good neon is because they go anywhere from $2,000 up to $5,000 line of credit. Okay, from $2,000 up to $5,000 line of credit. And again, they report to the business credit bureaus. So they report to four business credit bureaus. They report to Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Credit Safe. Now, let me help you all understand about Good Neon and why this is very important. Because they report to Small Business Financial Exchange. Many of you all don't know how important Small Business Financial Exchange is. See, with Small Business Financial Exchange, that's where Dun and Bradstreet gets a lot of its data from. Experian, they pull some of their data from there as well. Okay, so that's the reason, like when you have banks like American Express that only reports to Small Business Financial Exchange, then that's how that information ends up with Dun and Bradstreet, because Dun and Bradstreet siphons that information about your business from Small Business Financial Exchange. And another key thing about Small Business Financial Exchange, and this is very important, is because say that you're trying to get an SBA loan, and many people are not aware they have an SBA Express loan up to 50,000, even if you have bad credit, but you have to have other things in place in order to qualify for that loan. To me, SBA loans is most of the time is too much red tape. And again, it usually, like for a loan like that, you're usually going to take anywhere from 30 to 60 days to get approved. So that's the reason, like, I'll suggest it to clients, but I'm not a big fan of SBA loans. If I know that you have decent enough credit, you can go elsewhere. Now, another net 30 that you want to have is NAV. All right. Now, here's the thing about it with NAV that's so important is that NAV, they actually give you two trade lines. If you open up a business checking account, that's a business trade line plus the business credit card. Now, here's the thing about it. Their business is a charge card. It's not a revolving card, but at the same time, it's a trade line. Now, with NAV, they are a business credit reporting bureau. Okay, so they'll report to your Experian and your Equifax. They used to report to Dun and Bradstreet. I don't know what happened with that relationship, but they still report to Experian and Equifax. Again, because Experian and Equifax, those are your major business credit bureaus in order to get the funding that you need. All right, Dun and Bradstreet, like if you, with Dun and Bradstreet, their whole purpose, say that you want trade credit, like if you have a restaurant, a janitorial type of business, or you're in the construction industry or something like that. But if you want cold hard cash, Visa, MasterCard, business lines of credit and stuff like that, then you want to focus on building up your Experian as well as your Equifax credit file. All right. And so that's where NAV comes in at, because not only that, they actually will give you a line of credit. So you open up a checking account and you get the business credit card. They'll give you a line of credit that actually reports on your business credit bureau. All right. Also, with NAV, they will give you your personal credit score as well. They usually give you like your Experian and your TransUnion credit scores. Now, please understand, those credit scores they're actually giving you, those are Vantage scores. Those are not FICO scores. So then you have to look at institutions that actually offer credit to a Vantage score in order to leverage that score. All right. But with NAV, they definitely will give you funding even with bad credit if the business is generating revenue. And again, for most of these here type of institutions that give you lines of credit and stuff, if you have bad credit, please understand usually the interest rate is going to be much higher. All right, so that's very important for you to understand. All right, now here's another lender, and this is Fair Figure. All right, so with Fair Figure, as you can see here, they will give you a business credit card. Okay, now that business credit card, the amount of revenue that you actually have to be making in the business in order to get this business credit card, you have to be making at least $2,000 a month. You have to be in business for at least 90 days. But here's the interesting thing about it. Look at who they report to: Equifax, Fundex, and I'll talk about this in a minute, Credit Safe, Experian, and TransUnion. Now, here's the key to them. If you have a Fundex score of 30 or above, then you will automatically qualify for a business credit card line of credit. Okay? But you have to be making at least $2,000 a month. Now, Fair Figure, they're similar to NAB because they actually give you access to your business credit report. So once you sign up for their business credit report, then what it is that and you put your business in the system, they'll look at it and they'll rate it. Like I said, if you have a 30 or above, you will qualify for this business credit card without a hard pull on your credit. It has nothing to do with your credit. They also will give you your personal credit Vantage score as well. And as you can see here, see this? They go from 500 up to 500,000 in terms of funding. So when you're trying to get funding, if you a new startup and you have some basic revenue coming in, you know that you have enough revenue coming in, then definitely you want to be able to use platforms like this and NAB to be able to get funding. Now, there's another institution that you can actually rely on that I really like to get funding also, and that's with Fundo. Because with Fundo, again, they offer you up to $10,000. All right, they offer you up to $10,000. Now, again, has nothing to do with the credit, has nothing to do with the credit, but their main criteria is you have to be in the freelance, small business contractors, or seller and franchise. So you can see here who they cater to. Now, please keep in mind, so even if you're in the MLM industry, they will actually give you a loan. Even though, like with SBA, they do not recognize MLMs as actual businesses, they actually will give you a loan if you're an MLM. All right, so that's very good there. Now, here's the thing about it. With your bank account, you have to make sure that the bank that you're banking with is able to connect to Plaid or to Decision Logic. Your revenue has to be at least $1,500 a month minimum, and then you have to be in business at least 90 days. So if you're driving for Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and stuff like that, then you qualify for this. All right, and there's no credit check on this. This is the reason why I continue to tell you guys there's certain ways you have to build up the credit file in order to get the funding. Now, there's a couple other lenders I want to show you. So for some of you all that's still trying to get funding and you're struggling, but you're self-employed, then you have Lendesa. Lendesa, they offer up to $5,000 with no credit check as well. Now, please understand these are types of merchant cash advances. So a low credit score will not affect you. All right, but they will give you up to $5,000 as well. And there's one other lender I want you all to keep in mind, and this is Giggle Finance. Now, with Giggle Finance, as you can see, $5,000, and it also shows you here in terms of there's no hidden fees, no credit requirement. $5,000. Now, why is this important? Especially for you being in a gig and you're doing ride sharing and stuff, you're putting a lot of wear and tear. You may need to get some money for a new down payment on your car because you having issues out of your car. But you have to be in business at least 90 days in order to qualify for these loans. But this is the back doorway, as I was promised you. This is the back doorway to build up your business credit file and get access to funding while having bad credit. So instead of you running to the banks or to the credit unions and stuff, you can actually use those net 30s that are reporting to the business credit bureaus, which mainly is Experian, Equifax, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Dun & Bradstreet. And then you can go for some of these here loans here to actually keep you going until you actually qualify for bigger lines of credit with the regular institutions. Now, for those of you that may have questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.